Hi everyone. This is Pastor Tim with this week's video update. This Sunday at Grace in our worship gatherings at 9 and 11, both in person and live stream, we're going to be kicking off a new teaching series on marriage. It's a 3-week series that we're titling Each for the Other. It's a series that's going to be taken from the New Testament book of Ephesians, from the end of chapter 4 and from chapter 5. In the first week, we're going to be thinking together about love's habits. We're going to look at some relational principles that honestly could be applied to a whole range of relationships. We are going to be seeking to apply these principles specifically to the marriage relationship. I have an opportunity to open the series this weekend. Next Sunday, January 24th, Pastor John is going to be preaching, and that message is going to be on love's source. In the third week, on January the 31st, we're going to be looking together at love's dance as we think about this design of marriage that God conceived of, this design that God ordained, which involves, as it were, a kind of dance between a husband and wife. Come and hear more about what we mean by that on January the 31st. In all of it, as we think about marriage, we come to that place in Ephesians chapter 5, and we'll really focus on this in January 31st, where we learn that this design of marriage that God conceived of is intended to, in some way, image forth to the world a picture, an illustration of Christ's relationship with the church. And that theme will be woven a bit through all 3 weeks in the series. We really hope that you can be with us. This Sunday, Grace Kids will be meeting at 11 o'clock. Christy Smith is going to do a video children's message that will be played in both services this Sunday. And then Dave Hansen and the worship team are going to be helping us to look hard in God's direction and get before Him as we sing to Him in worship. I also want to remind us that we are still in 21 days of prayer. We kicked off the year at Grace with a prayer week that culminated in a concert of prayer this last Sunday evening. And it was a really meaningful night, a very encouraging night. I left so encouraged. There were many people that came out to pray. We had people from outside of Grace who had heard about this concert of prayer who came and joined us this past Sunday evening. We focused on the adoration of God in worship, looking hard in His direction. We focused on awakening in the church, really praying for a kind of reformation in the church, that the church would be alive to Christ in these days. And then thirdly, we prayed for advance of the gospel in the world, that more and more people would taste and see that the Lord is good, that more and more people would bow to Jesus and say yes to Him, that they'd be convicted of sin, that they would turn from it, that they would see at the cross a sacrifice sufficient for the forgiveness of their sin. We prayed those kinds of things this past Sunday night, and it was just so meaningful. But we've also called for 21 days of prayer from January 4th to January 24th, and we just want to encourage one another to continue personally praying, cultivating this discipline and this practice of prayer in our lives, little by little. And we hope that many of you will stay engaged with that. Some of you are going to combine some fasting with prayer during these 21 days as we go hard after God and we express our dependence on Him at the beginning of 2021. This isn't all the prayer that we'll be doing during 2021, but our hope is that prayer week and these 21 days of prayer would be catalytic in shaping some patterns and habits in us as we move through this year, because we are looking to God for great things. You're very loved, Grace Church. Look forward to seeing you again soon. Know that you're being prayed for. Blessings on you.